Democratic Socialists of America facing their biggest test yet today. Wisconsin voters heading to the polls in a few hours for the gubernatorial Democratic primary. DSA-backed State Representative Francesca Hong has pulled ahead in recent polling. If she wins, she will face presumptive GOP nominee Congressman Tom Tiffany. And that will, of course, lead the country's most critical swing state. So this is going to be the race to watch today. Let's bring in Florida Congressman Mike Haridopolos. Congressman, so it's great to see you. What do you make of the rise of these far-left candidates in the Democratic Party? Because many moderate Democrats are pretty worried today about Francesca Hong. They believe that if she wins, that she will get beat in the general.
She will, because her ideas are simply radical. And it's amazing to see the new Democrat Party looks a lot like Stalin's party every single day. As you know, I'm a historian by trade. I used to teach at the college level U.S. history. And John F. Kennedy, probably even Bill Clinton, is wondering what happened to his party that believes in open borders, higher and higher taxation, more and more power in Washington, D.C. It's just a radical agenda that's in great contrast to what we're trying to do right now in Washington, which is restore the basic ideas of what America is all about, which is hard work, lower taxes, more freedom. It's a contrast we welcome because the Democrats have simply gone too far left.
Well, also, too, you know, the DSA has been gaining national attention. It kind of began, well, it did begin here in New York City. But, you know, they're throwing out these slogans, tax the rich. But when they get pressed on what that even means, DSA co-chair Megan Romer had this response and really couldn't explain it. Watch this.
We do believe in taxing the hell out of millionaires. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what does taxing the hell out of them mean?
Yeah, you know, I don't have like a solid, but I think.
But shouldn't you? I mean, if you're the co-chair, of the DSA, shouldn't you be more specific than just taxing the hell out of something? What exactly do you mean?
So yeah, we need to look at what we need to pay for in the interim, what sort of tax base we need for that to happen, and then and build from there.
So they don't seem to have a plan, Congressman.
It's so unserious. And your earlier segment talked about what do you do when you get rid of the police and prisons? I mean, it's like bumper sticker for kindergarten. I mean, it's just embarrassing to watch these people to in a serious country like America, the leading country in the world, to have people just throw out slogans and chant. It's embarrassing to watch. And this is why we're offering the exact opposite. We want to say, look, if you work hard, you can keep more of your own money and grow your company or provide for your family. And remember, the tax rate on the wealthiest is almost 40% right now. How much is enough for these folks? And again, it's a simple choice. They want more power and more money in Washington, D.C. It's just that simple. And we think the opposite is the better idea, to let you keep more of what you earn. And we proved it last year, as you know, in the big bill. We actually said people who earn overtime, tips, and Social Security deserve to keep more of the money they earned. We think it's a good way to do things. And also, it gives you the flexibility for you to choose where you should be spending money, as opposed to a person who's clearly out of touch, who often is in Washington, D.C.
Well, let me ask you about that, because we're less than 90 days away from the midterms, and there's this recent CNN poll that showed that Democrats are leading Republicans by 8 points on a generic ballot. The Wall Street Journal points out a big issue for Republicans right now is the economy. Here's in part what they write. Quote, Americans' feelings about the economy are decidedly worse than those numbers suggest. In several surveys, only about 1/4 of respondents rate the economy as excellent or good. 3/4 say it is in fair or poor shape, Congressman. We also had some recent Fox News polls that find that voters think Democrats are better on the economy. So what can Republicans do to ease these feelings and boost the chance of keeping both of your majorities come November?
Well, look, there's no doubt that polls right now are challenging for the reality that that we all face. I mean, there are prices that we're still dealing with in the Biden administration. And the contrast is, what do the Democrats want to do? They want to go back to the Biden economy. You and I remember, Cheryl, that was 9% inflation. Our interest rates went from less than 3 to almost 8%. And look what's happening now. Right now, we have record investment in America. We have the stock market, meaning your retirement fund is better than ever. And we're moving in a direction where we're allowing people to keep more of their money. In the end, elections are not about perfection. election. It's about contrast. Do you think the solution to the economy is to give people in Washington more money and more power, or do you think you should keep more of your own money? And the good news is, because of the president's outstanding fundraising and what we're trying to do on the House Republican side, is we're going to get our message out. And it's going to be a contrast. They want to go back to Biden. We want to keep the country moving forward.
But
and we are producing more things like energy across the country.
But Congressman, I just want to not to put a finer point on this, but and what you're saying is certainly true. At the same time, a Republican pollster, this is Mitchell Brown, he's saying that what he's seeing now in these focus groups in the battleground state, which is what really matters, the states, excuse me, and that's what's going to matter, is these voters know exactly to the dollar the amount of their power bill. Whether it's health care, the price of beef, they know exactly what they're paying, and that's where they're seeing their pain, along with the gasoline pumps. And I bring this up to you because, you know, this is going to be something that the Republicans are going to have to really contend with as we get closer to November.
No, that's a fair point, Cheryl. We're not saying things are perfect, but it's like, what is the plan for the future? And as you know, right now, gas prices are higher because we know that if we allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon, the world changes as we know it. And this is why we went in here. But what we also did over the last 18 months is we increased the supply of energy, whether it be, of course, here in the United States. We have a regime now in Venezuela, which is the largest depot of oil in the world. It's actually going to be friendly with us, or at least trade with us. We're trying to do the right things and trying to move forward, and where we say to people we're just being frustrated by the Democrats because, as you know, with the filibuster, they're denying the verdict of the 2024 election. We can't even get a vote on the most basic things, like saying, shouldn't congressmen stay away from buying stocks? Shouldn't we have voter ID? And the radicals and the left are saying, no, we're okay with the status quo. And I think that's unacceptable. We have a lot of work to do, but the good news is that things like your retirement fund are doing better, and we want to offer them more of their own hard-earned money back. And that's the frustrating thing, where the Democrats in 21 and 22, they had the ability to lower taxes on the working class. They did not do it. Instead, they spent into oblivion, and that's what caused inflation. And when you ask them or press them like you just did and say, what's your plan? Their plan is nonsense. And I think the American public can see that one side is trying to help the individual keep more of what they earn. The other side saying, we want more of your money. It's a hard argument because prices are up. There's no doubt about it on gasoline. But in general, our policies, I think most people believe, are the right ones for them, not Washington.
Congressman Mike Haridopolos, it's always great to have you on the program. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Cheryl.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody.